Okay, now I'll move on to the section B, the narrative passage. This section, okay, what is usually testing you, okay, will be on the mainly, okay, you need to, because it is a description, a writer that's actually having his own personal experience, and usually he'll be describing what he's seeing and what he's doing and what he's feeling. Okay, so you need to basically understand, okay, the writers, okay, this is specific to the use of language of this particular writer, okay, so his choice of words, his style of writing, and as a result you need to, okay, show awareness of the intended meaning, okay, of the writer, right? So a lot of times the writer will use literary devices, okay, so this is what literally suggests is something to do with literature, okay. So some of it will be, for example, simile, that you may have sort of heard about it, okay, simile, metaphor, or personification, okay, and other uses of such oral and visual imagery. So oral refers to hearing, okay, and visual, right, imagery. So I'll go more in depth into the different types of literary devices, okay, in the later lesson. Okay, but for now, simile will be, for example, as fast as lightning, for example. Okay, and metaphor will be, for example, just saying that like something is like something, right? So she is like the sun, for example. Personification is just attributing a non-living thing, okay, human characteristics, okay. So sometimes the imagery will be invoked by the use of words that sound a certain way, okay. That's why there's something called oral imagery, okay. So you also need to demonstrate understanding of the meanings and connotations of words, okay, just like in section A, the visual text, okay. You need to know the connotations of certain words, whether it has a positive or negative connotation, okay. So very important, the secondary meanings of those words, and in different types of words, okay, I mean the same words when used in different types of situations, okay, can have different connotations, right? So you need to be aware of the context as well, and in using these specific words, okay, what is the writer's intention or purpose, okay. So this is actually use of language for impact, okay. How the use of certain words, okay, helps the writer to achieve a certain impact better, alright. So there are some questions that are more likely to appear, okay, in section B, okay. So inferential questions, okay, which focus on the effect of certain words on the reader, okay. So once again, you are focusing on use of language, the words. Because it is a narrative passage, so you have to be able to understand based on the words, okay, and make an inference on, okay, what is the attitude of the narrator, right? How is the writer feeling and thinking, okay, and why is he thinking, okay, or feeling this way, okay, or responding in a certain way, okay. What's the reason behind all of that? You need to understand what is the tone, what is the mood of the passage, okay, which means the tone or the mood of the writer, okay. What is the writer's impression of another character, okay. So sometimes the writer will be interacting with someone else, okay. So what is he thinking about this person? Of course, is his attitude towards a situation, okay. So instead of a person, there's something happening, and how does he feel being in that situation, okay. And you should also be able to understand his writing style, okay. Is he adopting a very sarcastic or satirical style of writing, okay, for example. So those are inferential questions, okay, whereby from the words in the passage you have to infer all these things, okay, usually about the writer. Next will be the structure of the text, okay. So you need to understand how is the passage structured, how is it flow, okay, how is the flow of the passage like, okay, where are the main ideas, okay, and where are actually just supporting details, right? So usually within each paragraph there will be a main idea and the rest of the paragraph will be supporting details, right? So you need to be aware of what is the main idea, okay, usually. The supporting details are just, it's not as important, okay, so what is the main idea? So the table below, okay, contains some examples of the questions and the skills. So, for example, okay, the most simple type of question will be literal. Okay, you just need to identify information, okay, and just leave the answer. So, example, what were 2 reasons behind Jay's decision to participate in the Youth Challenge Marathon, right? So, you just need to identify the 2 examples, right, directly from the passage. Next would be slightly more challenging, language use, okay, and this is a justification type of question, okay. So, okay, for example, explain how the language used in the paragraph conveys the atmosphere of fear, right? So, you need to, okay, because it is, you need to explain regarding the language. So, language means what are certain words or phrases that are used that help to convey fear, okay. So how do they convey fear? You not just need to look at the direct meaning, but also need to look at what is the connotation of these words, okay, taking into account the context of the passage, right, and how they actually are very effective, okay, in the conveying fear, right. So this justification, because you are trying to say that this sort of language, okay, is actually conveying fear. You just have to explain how it actually does that, right? So that's justification. You're trying to say that it actually does this and justify, okay, how it actually does this. So next language use will be on a more direct example will be vocabulary. Okay, so you just need to identify. Okay, so under justification you need to explain. Okay, under vocabulary you just simply need to identify, okay, what is the word or phrase that has that particular meaning, okay, or has that particular connotation, okay. So it can be word synonyms or phrases, okay. Yeah, okay, so you just have to pick that word up. Next will be you need to evaluate. Okay, so evaluative skills again. Okay, slightly more difficult. Okay, evaluating the writer's intent. Okay, so here yeah, so as similar to the justification, you need to explain how is it effective, right? Except here is instead of in language use justification, they're telling you that it conveys the atmosphere of fear, so you're just justifying how it conveys. Here you actually need to, they don't tell you that they're trying to create an atmosphere of fear. You're trying to, by your own deduction, okay, deduce what is it effective in doing, okay, and usually it's related to the writer's intention, right? So you need to think about the message, okay, you need to talk about the impact of it, okay, you need to find out what is the message and what is the impact and what is the intention of the writer, okay. You need to find out all this, okay, based on the phrase that is given, okay. So a lot of time the phrase itself will not give you the answer. You need to look at the sentence before or after the phrase, okay, to take into account, okay, the context and the situation in which the phrase is used, to be able to find out what is the, for example, the message or the intention of the writer, right? So quite challenging type of question, okay. Next will be is basically more focused on, it's language use, but it's more focused on just literary device, okay. So for example, what is a simile, okay, what is a metaphor, okay. So you need to just identify them, and sometimes you just have to explain what kind of effect that they achieve, right? and why are they effective in achieving this effect. Okay, so next will be you need to analyze and justify the writer's intent. Okay, so they're asking you to find out what is the writer's intent. Okay, so why you need to find out what is his intention. Okay, in describing something in a certain way. Okay, why is he doing it? Is because he's thinking about this thing in a particular way, and therefore that is his intention. Okay, and you don't just have to analyze. Okay, you don't just have to find out what is his intention. You need to justify it. Okay, so why is he having this this intention, right? So, or what does he intend to achieve? Okay, through his words, right? So what this question requires you to do is to basically ascertain, right? Ascertain and justify, okay, the use of the words in the text. Okay, so it's very important that here you need to pay attention to your own feelings and reactions, okay, upon reading, okay, what the writer has written, right? So this will give you, by having brought up a certain reaction in you, which is the reader, okay, or a certain set of feelings in you, okay, that will actually be a very strong clue as to what the writer is intending to achieve and what is his intention behind all of that, right? And of course, that would be a form of justification, okay, because you are sort of saying that the justification of him doing this is that he has created this series of feelings and reactions in you. Okay. Next would be an evaluative type of question, okay, which is a point of view. Okay, so you are talking about what is the point of view of the writer, okay, and you are sort of evaluating his point of view, saying whether it is right or wrong, okay, and why. Okay, so the reason will be the justification. Okay, why do you say that his point of view is inaccurate, for example, right? So you can say that it is biased or whether his point of view is objective, okay, and justify by explaining, okay, why do you say that, right? Next will be, okay, structure, which means the structure type of question will be you need to identify what is the main idea, okay. So a lot of times this will be in the form of like you have to summarize, okay, something, right? So in this case, you have to summarize the main feeling. So you need to pick up only the relevant portions, the main ideas relating to feelings, okay, from the paragraphs. Okay, the rest of the details you do not have to include them in the answer, right? So of course the opposite will be you need to identify the supporting details. Okay, so you need to support whatever that you are saying using the supporting details. Okay, you just have to identify them from the passage.